as the number of sinners in Nigeria, if the saints keep praying for us, they won't have time to pray for other people of the world. It's wonderful. It tells me a story of one man, you know. He was just converted to Roman Catholic Church recently, but the man has been in Okite. He's from my state. He has been doing Okite. He's a Dibia. But, you know, the powerful Christians has converted him to Christianity. But like they said, they go to these people will say, what is this man talking about? What I'm saying is that once you finish curing a madman, you will not cure the madman from, how do I speak that? I don't even know the meaning of ibuniku in English. Winking. When you cure the madman, he will still be winking. After some time, he will wink for you to know that he came from a constituency. I entered the bus going home, and the bus driver was saying, bus stop, there's a bus stop of psychiatry along the way to my house. There's a psychiatric hospital, in a federal psychiatric hospital in ENUGU. So the bus driver was saying, the bus stop of all those people who, in the Ntamu bus stop. I didn't understand what the man Nigerians are wonderful people. They turn everything into a joke. He said, Ntamu bus stop. Those bus stops where you stop and you see a lot of people will be they wouldn't Ntamu. In Igbo, Ntamu means murmuring. So if you get to that bus stop where you see a lot of people murmuring, you don't need to bother. That's what they're talking about. You will know already where the bus stop where you find yourself, you know. So you have to be, you don't talk about it. So as we bid the Pope farewell, among our delegates who have gone to bid Pope farewell, you know, I find there when they're singing in the church, somebody will be using eye to look at to admire the sisters, the reverend sisters and the nuns who are in the cathedral. They're probably looking for who will make me happy or not. I hope they come back with another church. And I trust among them we have the piteous Bishop Kuka. But he's not the leader of the delegate, he's just a member of the delegate, and other people. By the time Nigerians return from that delegate to go and bury the Pope, you come back, all the killings in Nigeria would have stopped. I mean, you know, just go to Rome, bury the dead Pope, pray, and then do, you know, when we come back, all our sins are forgiven, and we come back fresh, and we start all over. That is what we are hoping. So it's just about that. It won't stop Pope from going to where he's already gone. All these ones are ceremonies, but Nigeria would have saved the Pope that embarrassment, because along the line where the Archangel Peter and all the ones Gabriel are trying to receive the Pope, they will look back at the people who are paying, you know, who are just assembled to wish his soul well, and they will spot some Nigerians. They will say, who are those? They seem to come from, I'm not saying anything, but if the angels look back and see among the people who are bidding the Pope farewell, they will say, are those ones among the well, Pope, goodbye, Pope Francis. May the angels of heaven sing you to sleep. Whatever Nigerian delegates are coming, they will not stop the angels from singing you to sleep. And like we said, your death will become a lesson for us to learn in Nigeria. In one other platform, I have said, it reminds me, I like singing songs as a Christian father. We said, you know, fading away like the stars of the morning. You know, when you hear this kind of song, you know, the church I worship with, you know, the Anglican church, the Orthodox Anglican, the Methodist, the Lutheran church, the Baptist, you know, they sing a lot of hymns during the time of burial. And the Roman Catholic too, we all sing and we pay a lot of respect for the dead. And so it means that we're fading away like stars of the morning. Do Nigerian politicians know that? The delegates that are going to bid for power, do they know that we are fading away like stars of the morning? And he was not there to happen. He didn't do now, you know, because along the line, one day somebody will lie, no motion, and then everybody will start singing Requiem High Mass. That's it. And that's it. So do we think about that day for us all? Do we reflect as Nigerians in all our endeavors? Beyond politics, in our economic endeavor, health, all the sectors of Nigeria, do we remember that one day we will fade away like stars of the morning? Like Pope Francis had just faded away. And all the pomp and pageantry and ceremonies of burial, we know, some people will look at it, they say, some people will look at how Pope is buried and they wish they are dead to be buried like that. You want to be buried like Pope? Are you Pope? You know, you end that kind of burial, and you know, even at death, you have a choice how you want to be buried. If you die like a thief, you will be buried like a thief. If you die like a corrupt Nigerian politician, you bury you as one. If you die like a saint, like Saint Francis the Pope, you bury you as one. You know, whatever a man sow, he will reap. That's all. So goodbye, Pope, and we're expecting the Nigerian delegates, that is if they did not jackpot. The Nigerian delegate will not come back. They will just use the opportunity. They're going for the burial of Pope and jackpot, because it doesn't pay you that you go to bury Pope and come back to hell. So like this, to Nigeria. Nigeria, we held the. So goodbye, Pope, as we take on the next news point. What point do we muse? Remind me. Okay. Political defections. Political defections. I want to announce that I, the presenter of the news on Signature Television, I am defected. Ask me where. I don't even know where to defect. It's just that I announced that defecting anywhere there is stomach infrastructure. After all, tell me, just notice that I am ready to defect. Tell me where to defect to. If I'm a Nigerian politician, where I will defect to will be very, very, very clear, because we have been told that if you join that particular party, all your sins will be forgiven. And all of us are making effort. Well, now we know that we have a party in Nigeria where we join. We don't need to die again to go to heaven. You know, all our sins are forgiven, so it's heaven. It's Eldorado. Just join that particular party. 90 million flies cannot be wrong. Join them to eat what they eat. Nigeria, we have the political defections that even a sitting governor with all the machineries of state government defected to a party. And in Nigeria, we all kept quiet and accepted it. And take it as the new normal. Nigeria. Who did this to us? I don't have any issue with defection. As I'm sitting here, I've announced my own defection. But I cannot defect with a Signature Television. If I want to defect, I leave their studio, leave everything they are doing, and just defect to anywhere I want to. I can ask for a defect to hell. But I shouldn't be drawing people who do not want to defect, drawing them to defect. What would that be? How do you describe that? Is defection by force? And if we vote you as a representative of a state, you are not there for everybody and for nobody. You suddenly decide that a complete over 5 million people that make up a state that is also a legitimate member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all of us, over 5 million people should join one party overnight without due consultation. What is our offense that we have elected you as governor of our state? And nobody's talking about it, though. Hey, God. Hi, Nigeria. Who will write this story, this history? Have we given up on Nigeria? Are we giving up on our democracy? Are we saying that nothing can be made out of our democracy? Is it how this leg Nama go take reach Omaya? This is how we're going to get to become a very strong democratic nation. We believe that we need to make mistakes. But some of these ones are not mistakes. How can somebody deliberately climb a tall palm tree, get to the tall palm tree and just remove your hand and they just say, God will catch me when I fall? Is God catching you? Are you, even if you are his son, Jesus? Even Jesus did not try God to that extent, because when the devil asked him to fall down, the angels will catch you. He said no. And he used the word, he said, do not tempt your God. You shouldn't tempt your God by doing that. But you see, in Nigeria, we do anything. You see, a whole politician, he climb up to, through mandate, with one mandate, climb up to, with mandate B, get up there, and then leave his hand to fall into another mandate A. You call that Nigerian version of democracy? God forbid. For how long are we going to remain in sin for grace to abound? The Igbo Bible says Tofiakwa. And that is what I believe in. That one makes more meaning. Because if I speak them in English, it will be God forbid. But if you say it in Igbo, Tofiakwa, it makes sense. Nigeria, Tofiakwa. For how long can we be defected from one party to another without due process? And we have constitution and Nigerian legal luminaries, they are not interpreting it. So meaning we are taking the voters for granted. These are the same people who will come out tomorrow, beg them to vote for us. And we believe they will trust us. Because if you ask them to vote for us in party A, 2 months after, we can jump ship to party B without due apologies, without explanation, because it's politically right for us to do so. Without due consideration of the people who actually gave us the mandate. That is if there was, they get there with that mandate. Because if we didn't get there with the mandate, which mandate are you going to recall back to? Nigeria. But then even Nigeria is telling that musician say, don't cry for me, Argentina, cry for yourself. Why should we pity Nigeria? We should pity ourselves. Nigeria has been there before we come. And we all be here and go. Nigeria will still be here. Soldier go, soldier come. We are deliberately with open eye destroying Nigerian democratic system. That means we never deserved it. Some people paid with their lives to get us to this level. You know, my people talk say, now children when not sabi waiting they call war. For Igbo language, you know, no sabi what they call war. They call them aya, aya. In war, in Igbo, aya is aya, war. But small children that doesn't know what aya is, call it aya, aya. You don't blame them. They don't know what war is. Most of us who witnessed the Nigerian Biafran Civil War, when they are talking about another war, we take it with pinch of salt. We be saying, not deliberately refusing it totally, but we don't jump into it with all that kind of, you see our young people who are calling it aya, aya, but we know we saw aya. But then, you know, some people say if what happened in the recent past happened in the recent future, we might not even care and give up aya for aya, and then whatever it is. If you get confused, consult your Google. But I'm here, defections from one party to another. Some people I find in Nigeria have jumped from all the parties. They are jumping around, and now they completely circle. They will begin again to defect. And the Nigerians say, Kai, Nigerian voters, Kai, Nigerians, Kai. Who did this to now? The same people will still come back tomorrow, call for rallies, and people will wear their uniform and come out and be saying, Ijebego, 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 Ijebego. Are we not ashamed of ourselves? Okay, somebody was in the class of aesthetics, and he was talking about when something becomes consistently ugly, it begins to gather beauty. Some people get confused. If you see a very ugly woman, is ugly from head to toe, you start seeing the beauty of ugliness. That's aesthetics. Yes, Nigerians' democracy has gotten so rotten that we got it so rotten and smelly that we got to the point of start seeing some element of beauty in the rottenness of. It means you can defect. The only thing that has not, the only person that has not defected in Nigeria is the only president. Of course, he has no reason to defect because he's a strong man. Everybody is defecting to the center. We are not defecting to the side. Good luck, Nigerians. Keep defecting. Keep defecting. As you are jumping ship, make sure the ship stops before if because a ship can be see ship in the ocean. You think this is a high motion. If you don't calculate very well, you jump and you jump into the ocean and you hear boom. That's it. And some of the people who have jumped ship, I'm sure they jumped into boomness. Don't ask me. Time will tell. Let's go. There's this one I saw today. It's high medical bills has forced Nigerians to get prescription from the internet. Yes. High medical bills has made Nigerians, you go to hospitals. I've been to many hospitals recently. I don't see people again. You go to their wards, you don't see anybody. Anybody you see lying there is like, is not internet savvy. People go on the internet to get in the internet now, the AI tells you how to fall sick and how to get it cured. You can Google it. If I want to fall sick, what to do? AI will then now that I'm sick, what do I do? AI will answer. Now that I'm sick, what medicine do I? You recommend all this one. My only problem is that it doesn't recommend African herbs because it's not yet on the international brand. The AI does not recommend. Artificial intelligence does not recognize African herbs. So all those concoctions we make, we have not patented them for AI to pick them and put them in the repository, the repository of AI knowledge that is managed and shared by the internet. And then, by the way, even as much as in Nigeria, one of my brothers from Onitsha founded was a very strong man on the internet history. Where is it today? What brands we have in Nigeria, in Africa, that is recognized by AI? So, Isimpi Nanapampi, fall sick, AI will recommend the Igbo medicine. You go to the chemist, buy Igbo medicine. The only thing is that this part of the world where we are, NAFDAC has told us that almost 90% of our drugs in our market are fake. So you go, double wahala for dead body. You fall sick, yes. You don't go to the hospital, yes. You go to the internet, yes. Internet prescribe for you, yes. You don't go to the Nigerian market, yes, to buy fake drug. Case closed. Fading away like the stars of the morning. That's the next song we hear after that process is completed. Otiku. According to my Yoruba friends, they say Otiku, that is a case closed. You don't die. What happened? All the 60,000 Nigerian medical, over 5 million, when you put them together from medical doctors, nurses, are jackpot in the last few months. So how many left? So the few that are left here cannot serve the remaining. We are not up to 200 million again, no, because terrorism has reduced Nigerian population by over 20% in the last 2 months. Some people will want to quote me and quote you. Just go to AI, ask the same question that I said. You will get the answer. Everything is AI now. You get sick, go to AI on the internet. You ask him, I'm sick. He will tell you even what kind of sickness that's worrying you. You ask him for your location. Say, AI, I'm a Nigerian. What do you think is my sickness? He will say, he will line up all the sicknesses for you. You pick one. And I say, AI, what the medicine do I? You will give you so many medicines you could pick. Then you go to Nigerian market to buy. That's where the case closed. The process stops there. Because here there are certain things the AI cannot do. AI cannot stop fake drug in Nigeria. No matter how NAFDAC have tried. NAFDAC has not even employed AI to help them in fake drug system in Nigeria. They can only go to Headbridge Market in Onitsha, close the market, ready the market at night, without the people who own the workshop, the shops, and cut away whatever they cut and declare whatever they think is fake drug, they send Nigeria. Who did this to us? I say I get confused. That is what I want to talk. They say this man, you want to talk nothing, another enter my mouth. That's why they say is muse. Don't use the other one. No. You know, one madman in my place. Why they say he's mad is he'll be saying one thing, another thing will enter his mouth. I'm talking about Nigerians getting prescriptions for their medical issues from internet, and then the issue of fake drug came in. The issue of hate bridge market in Onitsha came in. And the issue of how NAFDAC raided the market came in, and what they cutted away came in, how they cutted it away came in. No one is against the cutting away fake drugs, but the manner of cutting is what we are faulting. Because if you remove flare from the body of a dog, you better show it to the dog. Otherwise, the dog will bite you thinking you are pinched it. How can you want to stop fake drug? You suspected the market in Nigeria is filled with fake drug. You gathered the security to help you to raid the market. But you have to go when the markets are locked. You invaded the market, broke shops, carted away goods. There's some viral video of some shops that were located near the medical shops. And then they were not dealing on medical materials. The woman was dealing on beauty and accessories and grooming materials, and then everything was scattered away. So you start imagining what has clothes and shoes and women's clothes and shoes and bags and those high brands had to do with fake drugs. It all shows that human beings still remain human. No wonder Jesus Christ, when they brought the woman who committed adultery, alleged, he said, if you have not committed sin before, throw the first stone, and the case closed. So all those ones who are raiding the drug market, cutting it away, if they know they have not taken fake drug before, if they know they have not committed anything against Nigeria before, nobody is promoting corruption or anything. Let us begin to do things the right way so that we don't leave suspicion and issues on the trail of any policy or government policy and decision that will be well defined and out. But because of our humanness in it, we bring in fault into it. That's what we are saying on the news. So before some of you misquote me, don't just go and do the wrong thing, do the wrong thing the right way. It can never work. Because they don't meet, light and darkness can never meet, no matter how you try. If you want to meet, you go to River Niger and River Benue at the confluence town of Lokoja and see how the two rivers meet. The next thing we do before we round up is the killing and killings in Nigeria continues. Yes. And then what is on top of the burner that people are recommending is whether we will have state police. Anytime that is mentioned, we will have pause. Okay, we'll be talking, there is a high level of insecurity in Nigeria. Yes, everybody agree. There is killing and killing every day. Yes. There is kidnapping. Yes. There is some element of rape. Yes. There's clashes and violent clashes everywhere. Yes, we agree. Now, when we come to solution, we have not been able, in the last, since 2012, to come up with solution. The only solution we do, we have been solving the same problem with the same consciousness that caused the problem and expecting result. Tell me what that means. Not be telling from my mouth when I go here. So I talk, say, somebody saw a problem. The same consciousness that make you cause that problem. You are using the same consciousness to solve that problem. Tell me what you are. Tell me. You talk saying, amigo talk says, I'm not that abusive. I grew up in a generation where we respect people. You know, we respect people. We don't use bad word against our people. But what do you call such things? So how will the problem get solved? We have our Nigerian security personnel who are 24 hours in the front line, dying sacrificing for us. We have done that for a long time. Why don't we try some other things? As you use the mortar, they pound something for your house, for the mortar. You use the pistol, they pound. You're going to hear boom, boom. When they give that pistol, that sound is equal. So accordion, when the accordion, that's the pistol, is sounding on the mortar, you're hearing boom, boom, boom. But even without the pistol, the mortar will make the noise. So accordion, you dey hear boom, you dey nzapo, that's the noise. So let us try something that will help our Nigerian securities to solve the problem of insecurity in Nigeria, instead of using one straight line jacket, or every day we load our boys to the front line. Some of them will return, some of them will not return. Who did this to us, Nigeria? Is it not high time we rethink and become more smart in our thinking? Why not add the Nigerian issue of state police, so that our code the equal is the mortar. That's the Nigerian security apparatus and the personnel. The accord in this case will now become the state police. The state police is another way of bringing the issue of security to the grassroots, nearer to the grassroots. That was the same consciousness that made us go into local government. And even local government is a recognized autonomous unit of our federal governance system. You ask yourself, why won't you, if you have federal police, why won't you have state police? If possible, local government police. But Nigerians, we do first things last. Some people have consolidated their state police. After all, we have the likes of Amoteku, we have Bubagu and other ones. But it's just for Nigeria to give it baptism and say, this is state police. We are still running under vigilante. But even that vigilante, what is it? That is some of the things that help to stop these incessant killings. Every day we are dying. Let's help the Nigerian police. Let's help the Nigerian Army, Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Navy, the Customs, the Civil Defense, the DSS. We need to help them with the Nigerian police, so that we all will be moving together. If we think Nigeria is the cattle owned by one Alhaji, all of us are headers for one Nigeria. If we are going in one direction, why not listen to the people and think about the state police? Well, this is where we're going to stop musing today. We have so much to muse on, but time passes when you are musing alone. I never know it can be this fast. Until we come your way again, this is Signature TV, the muse of Signature. My name is Christian Chibuzo Maduka. You can call me the muser or anything it means in your language. But that's it. Stay tuned to the rest of our program. Don't go away.
Crisis in Nigeria is to get a government that will think of getting a policy that will take us from consumption to production. It will not take us 6 months or 1 year for any government to plant, to build agricultural concerns everywhere and plant, go to farms and get people to farm. And Nigeria, we do not have any reason why we should be begging for food in Nigeria, because more than 75% of Nigerian lands are uncultivated. They are just there wasting. So push tractors, push people. We can't be begging food from a war-torn country like Ukraine. It has gotten to that level. So the moment we begin to go into the farms, begin to produce material, agricultural materials, we'll feed ourselves and people will be happy.
Because of food inflation in Nigeria now, first of all, is what we call in economic terms materials theory. Materials theory is when population is growing. When population is growing at a geometric rate, and why food production is growing at arithmetic rate. That means population is growing like 2, 4, 8, 16. While food is growing 2, 4, 6, 8. The pace of growth of population is far higher than our population is rising, while our population is getting lower. So the demand outweighs the supply.
The causes of food inflation or hardship is tied to government policies. For example, you saw last year, 2023, as at May last year, before the coming of the current administration led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the moment he made one declaration as a leader, everything up to date, somersaulted. So it's government policies, it's policies that can bring down inflation, bring down hardship, bring down cost of living, improve life expectancy. It's same policy that can reduce life expectancy, cause hardship and what have you. So it's policy.
The problem is not reducing the import duties fee. The problem is this fuel subsidy issue. He should just remove it and let it go. If today he announced that fuel is back to where it is, I'm telling you, things will come down.
Imagine you go to Ogun State, you buy gari 1,005 per bag, and coming down here, you are paying about 20,000 or 10,000 transport. Definitely the bag of gari is not 1,005 again. So that's what I think lead to, and the tax that they are increasing here and there. In my workplace, I manage with one restaurant. They refuse to add this annual salary because every year they add salary. They refuse to add because light, water, and the building, everything, the tax have increased. So they refuse to even add our salary. They are not even doing Nigeria good with this, their tax or whatever. Except if they are extorting. This one, I see it as extortion from poor people and giving it to the big people.
The relatives, they are usually torn on their flesh. Once your coverage is gone, it will just be like as if they've been waiting for opportunity like that to tell you the kind of people they are. So they go through a lot. One, taking the properties away from them, especially the Igbos. If you are not fortunate to have a male child, in quotes, you stand no chance of getting anything as you ought to, because it was your husband that worked for those things. Your relatives would just come out from nowhere, even though they've never showed face. But you begin to see that you have a lot of relatives hidden because they've seen opportunity. They would just like ants, they would just invest on you and take out all things that you ought to take as the wife of the man that just left. So they stand no chance of fighting for themselves.
Unfortunately, in our society, widows are subjected to inhuman treatment. For instance, sometimes a man dies and the wife is accused of having a hand in the death, and some negative things are done. One of which includes, in some communities, they say we must bet you, we must bet the dead person, and you drink the water to prove that you don't have a hand in the death of the man. And this is a person, a woman who should be grieving for losing her husband, and she's been subjected to inhuman treatment. So the way we treat widows are just very bad.
I'm speaking based on context I have seen. Sometimes widows are not treated properly when their husband dies. Sometimes they are subjected to some kind of measures and situations that are very difficult for them to handle, especially during the time of the bereavement. So I think they need more support from their husbands, people, from the community, and from the society in general. Their own family members, like from their siblings, need to rally around them. But in more precise way, I think the husband's people need to be by their side to help them process what has just happened, rather than sometimes, burdening them and loading them with even sometimes accusations as to having contributed to the death of the man, which has happened in some instances.
I will address it in two arms. First off, widows should have rights in Nigeria. Why I say widows should have rights in Nigeria is, firstly, these are people that just lost their loved one, and the society sometimes, under the native law and custom of the Igbos especially, most times they don't even see the widow as somebody that should inherit the estates of the deceased. Why? It's because they feel, especially for the people that never gave birth to a male child, they will see them that they don't have the capacity to be administrators of their husband's estate. Uncles that are greedy will always feast on those things and take up the properties of this widow. Secondly, under Nigerian native law and custom, women generally are not even seen to be part of people that should inherit properties, even from their paternal side, talk more of their husband's side. But good enough that under the law, there is a Supreme Court decision that says, in the case of Ukeja and Ukeja, that a woman can actually inherit the properties of the father.
Some are being treated rightly, while some are not. But if you talk about e-treatment, maybe you can be talking about in terms of properties. Let me talk in legal aspect of it, because we see a lot of cases like that in court whenever maybe a husband is dead and the family members are trying to take away the property, not minding that the deceased has family, have children to take care of. And it's also through that property that these children can be taken care of. But some of them are being taken away their properties and all that, which is very bad. is very, very bad. We have a lot of them in courts. So we try as much as we can to help them in any way we can. So there are some culture that's not fair to say. I won't say that I don't know some cultures that's not fair. And that aspect we need to come in and help. There are many of them, many of them.
When we had opportunity of participating during the midwifing of the two political parties by the military, they gave us logistics, they gave us offices, they also provided transportation, and they also funded the parties. So the only problem that we were manifesting was the issue of the money bags, those who will be influencing the electoral process. So after that regime, it was an open field for people, because looking at our electoral system, the American presidential system is a very corrupt political regime, because the constituencies are larger and the process of selection of the candidates is also very cumbersome, that the parties were managed by people who have no vision of what democracy is all about. They think it's all issue of money and money and money and deployment of the money to produce better results. So if you look at who are the bureaucrats, who are those managing the parties in Nigeria, the people managing the parties don't even know what building a political structure means. They think is just staying in office. I had the minister of FCT saying that the PDP were able to sell, form, and made about close to 14 billion naira, but they couldn't pay ground rent for their property of 7 million. So that shows you the reckless. The party system here is from top to bottom. It's not from bottom to top. The party system we are practicing is not the way the American presidential system run in the United States. So there's no idea. It's all about money, money,
and money.
So how do you, the average earning of the top civil servants in Nigeria, for you to earn 3 or 4 million naira a year, and somebody will pay 50 million to buy for? Politics is based on constituency interest. It's not based purely on the platform you're running. That will also have some tribute to your success. Let us look at the 3 candidates. 1, where do they come from in Anambra State? Soludo comes from Isuofia. He has only 1 ward in his political parish. The Okachukwu, his constituency has about 2 wards coming from the neighboring town in Nnewi. So then the man from Nnewi, who is Dr. Moralo, has close to 20 wards in his primary constituency. Then look at the local government distribution. Soludo comes from Old Aguata, which are 3 local governments. Moralo and Okachukwu, Dr. Okachukwu, are sharing 4 local governments within themselves. Now, Anambra is a place where most of the politicians have no constituency. You have to have a constituency. Where do you think your votes will come from? Is it the youth? Is it the intellectual group? Is it the working class? Is it those who you feel that can do mobilization? Soludo is a governor in Anambra State with less than 115,000 votes, where the registration is about 1.8 million.
Cancer remains one of the leading causes of death worldwide, with over 18 million new cases diagnosed every year. In Nigeria alone, approximately 100,000 new cases are recorded annually. Factors such as late diagnosis and inappropriate treatment are listed as leading causes of cancer death, especially in low and middle-income countries. 38-year-old Umu Dolokaina, who is receiving treatment for breast cancer, shares her story. According to her, she dismissed unusual pains, opted for herbal remedies instead of seeking professional help. She now urges women, particularly those in rural communities, to prioritize their health by seeking immediate medical attention if they experience any symptoms.
I have been experiencing pain in my armpit. When I first fell ill, I was unaware of the cause of my sickness. Despite trying traditional medicine, which did not provide any relief, my aunt, who lives in town, advised me to undergo a medical checkup at FMC Renikebi to determine the source of my discomfort. Unfortunately, the diagnosis revealed that I have cancer, a disease I knew very little about. Having relied solely on traditional medicine, which proved ineffective, the medical team informed us that if we were willing, we could proceed with treatment, which involved a series of injections, followed by surgery, and then completion of the remaining injections.
Cancer treatment is quite expensive. Given the significant financial burden, health experts say government intervention to support cancer patients is critical. The Kebbi government says it is dedicated to closing the gap in healthcare within the state by improving access to essential medical services, including cancer care.
State level, Kebbi State government has established a cancer unit in the Kebbi State Teaching Hospital, Kalgo, and also it has established an indigent cancer fund. And based on the category or stage at which your cancer is, the funds is being distributed accordingly for patients, either for surgery or chemotherapy or radiotherapy. The state government is giving funds accordingly for patients to avail those services. Yes, partnership is there with drug companies like Johnson and Johnson, Roche, which Roche is into breast cancer and Johnson and Johnson into prostate cancer. So they have subsidized those drugs that are meant for prostate cancer as well as drug for breast cancer. So there is counter funding from state government together with these NGOs to subsidize the drugs for patients.
Health experts says medical advancement and improved early detection methods have been significantly increased survival rates, offering a lifeline to those battling the disease.
There has been improvement in cancer survival rates due to simple things like prevention. Within the cancer space, there has been plenty of noise being made, early diagnosis, coming to hospital early, and it has greatly improved the survival rates of our cancer patients, as well as in the chemotherapy. Some of the drugs were used in cytotoxic. Initially, the cytotoxic being used usually destroyed both normal and abnormal cells, the cancer cells and the normal cells, and the normal cells. But these days, the new drugs being made, they are referred to as hormonal or targeted therapies or immunotherapy. Specifically, they are made to treat the cancer cells without destroying the normal cells. So with that, it has reduced side effects and patients are willing to stay and finish their chemotherapy, thus improving survival rates.
The WHO stresses the need for increased sensitization and accessible treatment towards a future where cancer is no longer a widespread burden. From Brini Kebbi, Excellence Benjamin, reporting for Signature Television.
Welcome to Southeast News on Signature TV. It's the Monday edition. Barry Kumo Ado is my name, and let's start with the headlines. IPOP cautions DSS against linking the organization or its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, with Simon Ekpa. The Bagwanike community applauds free medical outreach by Nursing Department of UNTH. For details of these and more, stay with us.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was...
Why the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has told the Department of State Services, DSS, to stop associating it to self-acclaimed Prime Minister of Biafra, Simon Ekpa. In a statement on Sunday, spokesman of IPOB, Emma Powerful, said the organization has nothing to do with Simon Ekpa, now facing terrorism charges in Finland, was severally reiterated the fact that he is not a member of IPOB. Powerful stated that a scheme by the DSS to link Ekpa, whom he described as a self-confessed content creator based in Finland, to Nnamdi Kanu, is fraudulent and malicious. Senator Ekpa has on multiple occasions publicly stated that he is not a member of IPOB. According to him, the latest media stunt linking Ekpa with the IPOB is continuation of a well-funded psychological operation designed to salvage what remains of a DSS collapsing narrative after it failed to implicate IPOB in the military operations in the southeast and a court case against Nnamdi Kanu. It described IPOB as a disciplined, lawful, and globally recognized self-determination movement whose mission remains peaceful and anchored in international law, insisting that no amount of recycled lies or propaganda would change the truth. Residents of Ibagwa Nike in ENUGU's local government area of ENUGU State have expressed gratitude to the Department of Nursing Sciences of the University of Nigeria, ENUGU campus, for its impactful health outreach and free medical services to the community. They spoke at the conclusion of a 6-week outreach and public health program with the theme, Breastfeed the Child, Build a Community. Correspondent Chinemeremi Kegbanam has the report.
Over 200 residents cancelled their weekend engagements to take advantage of the public health service provided by the 400-level nursing students of the University of Nigeria ENUGU campus. It included medical checks, prescriptions, health talks, and distribution of essential items such as mosquito nets, baby pampers, and toiletries. The event, which is incorporated into the academic program and community health engagement of the Department of Nursing Sciences, drew a significant number of lecturers from the department. They shared in the joy of the students as they marked the completion of their 6 weeks public health course with the theme, Breastfeed the Child, Build a Community. Beneficiaries of the program, including elderly women and nursing mothers, expressed their joy and appreciation for the initiative, which they saw as very thoughtful and innovative. They commended the school management for bringing healthcare services to their doorstep.
Because I didn't know that people will, come and I'm very happy this is the first time they're doing it in this community. And as they are doing it, I'm very happy they give children something, gifts, even pampers, toilet roll soap, even this nets. It's we don't say the time that they have given us this thing. So from this program, the exclusive breastfeeding is very important. Before, we mothers, we are joking with it, but now I have learned the importance of it. One of the benefits is that it's cheap and affordable. Then it's not something that you can go outside and buy, and it is also very important. It gives we mothers time. It builds the child's immunity to fight against diseases. We are trying. It's not easy to afford this type of thing for everybody, and as you can see, everybody is here. Everybody is coming. But there are some people that is here that doesn't have money to go hospital. But because of this thing now, they have come here and checked themselves. You people gave them free medicine.
Wow, this event is so fantastic. In fact, I'm so impressed. I don't know that something like this is going on. The time my neighbor was telling me about it, I was somehow, I said, okay, let me try. But as I come, I was so happy. I said, thank God that I didn't miss something like this.
A team of specialists, including dentists, opticians, and medical experts, collaborated to deliver quality health care and advice to community members during the program. According to Dr. Ijoma Ilo, the organizer and Associate Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences and Technology, said the program aims to bring health care to underserved communities.
Ụmụaka abụọ maka UNEP taa ga-akọwara uru inye nwa ara bara. Ele anyị etokwana inye nwa ara. Mana ha ga-akwụ nnọọ ọ dịghị ọghọm dị na-enye nwa ara. Kama na ihe nwere inye nwa ara bụ ihe ịma aka ọ ga-abụ na ekpopụ n'akụkụ ọ bụ naanị uru. Ihe ịma aka ahụ bụ ebe a ga-etinye anya ka ewepụ ozuzu ya wee nwee ike na-enye nwa ara ọfụma. Anyị ga-akụziri ụmụ nwaanyị ihe ha ga-eji na-emegharị aka mgbe ha kakwu nwere aka ka ha na-enweta obere ego wee na-akwado ezinụlọ maka na ya afụ na-atụ ihu na anya obodo anyị dị ugbu a ofu onye agaghị ebuli ezinụlọ.
Dr. Ilo acknowledged the generosity of the traditional ruler of Ibagwa, Igwe Emmanuel Ugwu, who has consistently supported the program since 2019. Representative of the monarch, Collins Ugwu, expressed satisfaction with the positive impact of the program on the community, emphasizing that health is wealth and should be a priority for all.
And I want to recognize the efforts of all the lecturers who have put in their best to make sure that this thing go from one village to another. So we are so happy about that.
The lecturers and student nurses shared their thoughts on the program, highlighting its benefit to the community.
The turnout was good, it's good, and I think the organizers, they are doing well, because we discovered that some communities from other areas that are attended, most of them don't come out. They will be thinking that they are coming to share food, you know, without taking good care of themselves. So the turnout is good, and I can see from their faces that they appreciate what is going on.
Within the space of 6 weeks, we have been able to learn more about the functions of the primary health care, the importance it has on the community generally, and also some procedures itself that is being conducted in the health centers.
The outreach featured a range of activities including drama presentations, cake cutting, model crafts, cultural dances, and many more, showcasing the students' knowledge on skills and public health services. From Ibawa Nike, Chinemeremi Kebunam reporting for Signature TV News.
A pastor in one of the white garment churches has reportedly been arrested in connection with the death of 4 siblings in the Iweze South local government area of ENUGU State. Although the council chairman, Ferdinand Ukweze, confirmed the arrests during a visit to the deceased family, the suspect was said to be a member of a Sabbath church located in the area. The children, Kamsiyo Chukwu Ezema 7, Ezine Ezema 6, Ujunwa Ezema 5, and Chinedu Ezema 2 were allegedly gruesomely murdered with a pistol by the pastor alongside other accomplices who are currently at large. However, speaking during a visit to the family of the deceased children shortly after visiting the scene of the crime, local government chairman Ukweze condemned the act, vowing that justice must be served. Ukweze consequently ordered that the premises where the incident took place be sealed with immediate effect. Meanwhile, the ENUGU State Police Command has not reacted over the incident. The efforts to speak with the command spokesperson, SP Daniel Ndukwe, were unsuccessful. He could neither take his calls nor respond to a text message seeking his comment as of the time of this report. Following recent report about missing 15 candidates who were said to have been abducted on their way home after sitting for the rescheduled UTME in Imo State. State Police Command has stated that the candidates were stranded, not abducted. Press statement issued from the desk of the command spokesperson DSP Henry Okoye said that a vehicle conveying the candidates broke down, rendering the students stranded along the way. Command spokesperson pointed out that a poor network caused a communication gap, which gave rise to unfounded speculation online, concerns for their safety. Koya further stated that after putting the vehicle in order, the students with the proprietor resumed their journey and returned to Onitsha. Commended the public for showing concern and bringing the report to the notice of the police on time. A 40-year-old man set his house on fire in Asau Mudim community of Osisioma local government area of Abia State, resulting in the death of one of his daughters. Suspect to have doused his house with inflammable substance before igniting the compound, an allegation that his wife was engaging in extramarital affairs. Suspect was also said to have accused the wife of regularly picking phone calls of people suspected to be her boyfriends. One of the daughters of the man died inside a raised house. Doctors are battling to save the life of the wife and the other children. Community source told our correspondent that angry villagers were about lynching the suspect before the arrival of the police, who arrested the man. The body of the daughter of the suspect, who died in the attack, has been deposited in a mortuary. A police relations officer, PPRO of Abia State Police Command, DSP Maureen Chinaka, confirmed the incident and also said that an investigation is ongoing. We move now to Anambra State, where the police command has recovered a stolen shuttle bus with registration number AGU 651ZL belonging to the Transport Company of Anambra State at Nkwere, Oyi local government area of the state. In a statement released on Sunday, the spokesman for the Anambra State Police Command, SP Chukwu Ikenga, said that police operatives attached to the Obosi Divisional Headquarters made a recovery on Saturday. Ikenga said the operatives swung into action following a distress call to the Anambra State Police Command control room by the driver on how a 5-man armed criminal gang disguised themselves as passengers and dispossessed him of a cash sum of 20,000 naira only and a shuttle bus. And that's the news. There are some stories we're tracking, and when we return, you would of course be part of our conversations. Stay with us.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was...
Why the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Now, we're going to where? Where are we going to? Okay, that's exactly where we're going to. Where a 40-year-old man set his own house on fire in Asaumudim community in Osiosioma local government area of Abia State, which resulted in the death of one of his daughters. Tony Ademodi is already on the line with us. Tony, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good to be here on the show.
Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, good to join you on the program today.
All right, thank you. Tony, I was expecting a story that will brighten my Monday. Unfortunately, this story just hit me in the guts of a man setting fire to his own house and killing his daughter in that act. You've been picking the pieces together, so what would you make out of it?
Well, it was a very, very sad, story that we all saw. That event happened at the weekend right here in the city of Aba, somewhere around in Osioma, our local government area, where a man was reported to have set ablaze his wife and his children, because of the fact that he was, thinking or suspecting that the wife was having an illegal affair with somebody outside, which is still an allegation even as we speak. So that was a very sad story. The man actually, burnt up his family in the house, poured fuel on them, and set his children ablaze. But now the story is that the follow-up story is also that one of the child has been confirmed dead, but then the wife, as at today, we're hearing that the wife and the other children are still fighting for their lives. So even as we speak now, we really cannot say if they are still alive. But it was a very sad story. It went viral on social media. Everybody saw that story, and it was just it's just one of those things where we talk about people taking laws into their hands, and it's very sad. It's a story that needs to be condemned. What could have led to a man, setting his own family ablaze? What could have led to that? A whole lot has been said. Some people say it was depression. Some say frustration. A whole lot of story. But then I'm still trying to figure out what really would have led to a man to set his family on fire. It's quite sad. The police has confirmed that story. The public relations officer of the Abia State Police Command, DSP Maureen Chinaka, she did confirm that story to us, that it did happen, and that investigation is ongoing, and that in no due time that the law will take its due course.
Yeah, but looking at the video of the man seated, was he also, it does appear as if it was also burnt somehow.
Well, there's also been some allegations or some, talk of the man, being under substance or something, that some residents of the neighborhood did also say that he's been having issues with the wife most times, but they never envisaged that it was going to lead to this level. It was going to lead to the death of the wife and children. So at this point, I'm sure the law would take its course. They would investigate that story and really know why the man had to do that. And also, another part of the story is also suggesting or alleging that maybe the man had to light up, the woman and the children, trying to, on the pretense of maybe if the next day people wake up, it will look as if there was a fire incident in the building, and maybe to cover up his crime. But as God will have it, neighbors saw him do that, and of course reported to the police, and the man is in custody as we speak.
Okay, did you, by way of information, pick for how long they've been married?
Well, they've been married for almost 10 years, more than 10 years now. That's the story we gathered, and the man himself has actually been having issues with the wife, which is normal. In every marriage, you would always not, it can never be rosy every time. But, you know, the thing is, nobody suspected, nobody saw this coming, that the man was going to go this far. You know, whatever, it's still an allegation. You know, he was suspecting that the wife usually take phone calls, you know, which she's not supposed to take, which is still an allegation. You know, we'll get to hear her own side of the story, but this is what the man told reporters. He did say that he was suspecting that the wife was having an illegal affair, you know, outside their marital home, and that led him to, you know, act that way, which is something that is still very surprising to a whole lot of people, especially people of that community. Siomangwa, one of the very top local governments, very popular local governments in Abia State. You know, Siomangwa, part of it is also local governments that also make up Aba. So people are still wondering what could have led to that. But like I said earlier on, the man is in custody. I'm sure the police would do a proper investigation to really ascertain what could have led this man, you know, to this barbaric act.
All right, just for the sake of asking, over time they've seen the man have quarrels with his wife. You talked about the allegation of substance abuse. What about his mental health? Were there any suspicions that he had issues with mental health?
Well, you know, seeing the man, you know, there was no suspicion of the man having mental health. The only thing is that, you know, neighbors actually confirmed that the man most times, you know, gets drunk, you know, takes illicit substances here and there. But talking about mental health, I think the man actually knew what he did. You know, from my own angle, except maybe investigations will really reveal more. But I think he knew exactly what he was doing, because how on earth would he explain it that a man, you claim to have a wife and children, even if the wife was having an affair with somebody, let's just, you know, imagine that, which is still an allegation for now. He shouldn't have gone that far. Worst gets to worst, if you think the marriage is not okay for you, you think you can, you know, go ahead with the marriage, why not send the woman packing? Let her go back to her family home, and rather than put the woman in this, you know, very precarious situation. As we speak, the woman is battling for her life in the hospital, and even if she survives this, you can imagine the level of bonds. You can imagine she would never be the same. So it's something that has been condemned in totality, and I don't think the man has got any excuse for acting this way.
All right, then, Tony, I need to let you go, but I want to trust that you keep us updated concerning this matter, because it's very important that we are updated on it.
We're also following it from the police angle, and if there's any developments concerning that story, you can be rest assured that you'll be the first to know.
That would be great for us. Thank you very much, Tony Ademode. And that's tracking the story from Abia, where a 40-year-old man set his own house on fire, where his wife and children were. It's a sad one, but we're tracking that story. And now, I'm going to join my colleague who earlier today had a conversation on what's up in Anambra in terms of preparations for the election. How's politicking going? Let's find out from Charles Pius, where this conversation, hold it, Charles will tell you about him.
With a population of about 36 million people, the Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges, completed and uncompleted projects, bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT. With a population of about 36 million people, the Southeast is awash with stories. Every day on Southeast News, we tell the peculiar story of the Southeast and her people.
Our Southeast should be the Silicon Valley of Nigeria.
Their successes, achievements, and daily challenges. Do you have a Southeast story to share? Community achievements and challenges. Completed and uncompleted projects. Bad roads, water scarcity, erosion, flooding, insecurity, or even disagreements? Bring it on to Southeast News. On Southeast News, no story is too big or too small. Southeast News. Let's tell our story. Showing on Signature TV every weekday at 4 p.m. WAT, 1600 hours GMT.
So we're building up to the 2025 elections in Anambra State. The gubernatorial elections is due in a few months, and the campaigns are going to be underway pretty soon. But of course, the numbers really sometimes don't really add up. Well, we'll speak to somebody who has a knowledge of what's going on in Anambra State and what would most likely happen. We have live via the phone this morning. Alex Emeka Ejindo is a public affairs analyst. Is going to give us an insight into these developments. Good to have you, Alex. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning to you, Alex. How are you? How is Anambra this morning?
We're fine. Anambra is cool.
Okay, pretty interesting. I mean, it's 8:33, and I would assume that it's breakfast time for most people in Anambra. And what is the atmosphere like? I mean, it's a Monday, I understand, but of course, there's always this Monday sit at home that you know, it hangs in the air almost every other day. But I'm just wondering, what does it look like in Anambra on a typical Monday morning?
Sincerely, there's no serious business activity in Anambra, especially in major cities. Sincerely, the truth is that people observe the sit at home here. People observe it, but in rural areas there may be around 50-60% skeletal business activities. But in major cities, on the Kamne, Udi, on the Obosi, other places, sincerely there are no serious activities as usual in Anambra.
But why is that, though? I thought that Sukuma Soludo apparently some time ago added that to his you know, wonderful achievement to have dismantled the menace of Monday sit at home.
He made a serious effort to stop it, and people fear of being molested made people not to comply completely. Schools are forced to resume activities on Mondays, but most parents do not allow their children to go out on Mondays.
Well, let me ask you this.
Activities like when there is no serious, the market leaders will not open, because if you disobey the stay-at-home rule and open, nobody will, the consequences will be borne by you and your executive. So I've had stories of a market leader being killed in one way or the other because of disobeying this. So generally people would like to sit at home to stop so that the business activities and the serious disruption of the economy will stop. But unfortunately, because these things are, security measures are not adequately put in place, compliance seemed impossible and difficult.
Right. But I thought some time ago, Anambra State implemented this policy of having schools on Saturday and then having Sunday and Monday to be the weekend. Why didn't that work?
Saturdays are the only time children help their parents at home. So many schools tried that and it worked for some. There are schools that are doing that on Saturdays, having the activities on school activities on Saturday. But there are some that are not been able to do that. As a matter of fact, my son, who is in Anglican girls down here in Lake Road, Obotia, they were mandated to begin Monday school attendance. But she tried one day, she tried the first day, the next time she tried, and the other time the mother, fear of being molested on the road, made a lot of them not to continue. I don't think that is still working.
So as it stands, that didn't work very properly across board, even though some schools have implemented it. So they use Sunday and Monday as the weekend, and then Tuesday is the beginning of the work week through to Saturday.
Yes, exactly. That's what is happening here. But that Saturday, the compliance, less than 40% schools are going to school on Saturdays. Less than 40%.
Okay, I mean, every hand is pointing towards the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. Do you really think that if he is released, that all of these things would end?
Sorry?
A lot of hands have been pointing towards the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu as the reasons for this sit-at-home, continuous sit-at-home of people on Mondays. Do you really think that if Kanu is released today, that Monday sit-at-home would end?
Yes, now, I think it will. Kanu has his own measures and he has his own followers that can influence issues. I believe if he is released today, most likely to stop sit-at-home, because I think my own opinion is that releasing Kalu will definitely stop this.
Well, some persons don't believe that, because even IPOB themselves have said that they have stopped, calling on people, to sit at home on, Mondays, that it is not from them. And then they have also said in some quarters that it's only when Nnamdi Kanu goes to court that sit at home happens. So then you wonder, really, where is this sit at home order coming from?
For sit-at-home in southeastern Nigeria is incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. So I don't see any other reason that will continue. Sit-at-home will continue if the man is released. The only thing, it may not be abrupt stop, but gradually it will stop. It will phase out. While when he's released, gradually this problem will just phase out without people knowing it. But the major reason for starting sit-at-home is the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu. So if he is released today, then what will be the reason to continue? I don't think it will continue. But it may not stop immediately. But as time goes on, it will just fizzle out.
All right. So let's talk about the build-up to the 2025 gubernatorial elections. What's the mood like? I know that the campaigns haven't started just yet, but we've seen INEC release some notes, and they're saying that by June 5, that the final names will be posted. They have just posted some names, and they have asked the public to go and scrutinize the documents that have been sent by these candidates across 16 political parties. And they are saying that by June 5, the final list, if nothing happens between now and then, the final list of the flag bearers will be published so that we can finally get to set out for these particular elections. What's the mood like? Are Nambarians looking forward to these particular elections, and to what extent?
Yes. Politicians are silently mobilizing support. They are working very hard, most of them, especially the three major parties, the Labour Party, APGA, and the AAC. Their candidates are moving, mobilizing support, lobbying for people to join them. And I believe that everywhere is calm, no noise, but a lot of works are going on the ground.
So if a lot of works are going on the ground, I know that you are also someone who analyzes politics very well. Where's the pendulum swinging? I mean, so many persons have said that the current administration has performed below par, maybe because they expected someone who has come from a background of finance as the CBN governor. I mean, they would have expected something a lot more than what they have seen. But so many persons have said that he has performed below par. Is that the mindset of most people in Anambra State?
He has a very great advantage as a person, as an incumbent governor. He has a very great advantage. But politics is not mathematics. Issues can crop up and things can change. The thing is not mere mathematics. Anything can happen between now and November, and a lot of things will change. His performance seems appreciated by so many people, and a lot of people find fault in his own mode of administration. Nobody will say he will just have an easy winning. It cannot be that. A lot of us may not support his kind of administration and his achievements, considering his pedigree. All I know is that campaigns are going on, mobilizations are on, sentiments and whooping of knowledge and whatever things that makes people vote are all going on now. Nobody knows what will happen from now to November. But all I know is there will be a peaceful election in Anambra State, and the winner will emerge.
Let's talk about the influence of Peter Obi in this election. Do you think he will play any significant role?
He will play if crisis in Labour will allow him to stand by the candidate. He will. People like Peter so much. People like Peter because of his achievements and his method of politicking. He is a modern man. He has one kind unique form of approach to administration and leadership, which is enduring to the people. People like him a lot because of his style of leadership. But the crisis in Labour, if they don't finally solve this problem, don't finally stop this problem, solve this finally, it will affect us completely. But with total resolution of Labour's problem, Peter's influence will count a lot.
So many people also think that his influence will be predicated on a vendetta rather than actual influence, given that Soludo did not support him in 2023, and so because he didn't support him, he wrote several letters, and so it's about time to pay him in his own coin. Do you think so?
No. Peter is a very neat, he's a liberal man. He may not bother so much about antagonizing anybody. coming on 27th, or I mean 2007, 2027. He's a liberal man. He doesn't antagonize in any form. He's a modern politician that everybody yells for. Everybody wants to have him around him. And what I don't know is what will happen if he decides to fight the power that be in Anambra, because that may as well affect his own side. But all I know is he will stand by his own party. He will not stand by Labour Party's candidate. Oh, that's all I know. Except anything change. This politics of the politics, you don't determine what will happen, because crisis in Labour Party is shaking Labour anywhere. It's shaking it beyond what you can imagine. Crisis in Labour Party. I thought by now there should be reconciliation between Barrister Abure and the other faction of Labour Party. But as it stands now, things getting worse and worse. Especially in Lagos State, conflicts here and there, who will be the candidate? While Senator Namadi and co packaging their own candidates, Zabura and co are packaging theirs. This kind of conflict doesn't help election. It will end up a lot of people losing their chance of winning. But let's hope the Anambra case will not be the same. I don't know. Let me see. I've not discussed with Peter recently. But let me assume that he will put his weight in Anambra to resolve what is happening.
Do you see him moving from one local government to another to campaign for the candidates of the Labour Party in Anambra State?
The central thing is Labour coming together. As soon as Labour comes together and accepts their candidate in Anambra, they will campaign vigorously like others.
Are you saying the Labour Party in Anambra State hasn't accepted its candidate?
The entire Labour Party in Anambra State accepts Chief Dr. George Mwala as their candidate. But the influence of national accounts, this is a electionary campaign, influence of national accounts as well. We need everybody on board. I will need everybody to come together to help.
How would the national influence count?
National influence, that's where Peter will come in. Assuming they are one indivisible party, Abure will be here in Anambra. Peter and his LSOT will be here in Anambra, and they will give both moral support and financial support. Election is not done by one man. It's not even sponsored by one man. People come together to help somebody to win an election. So that's what I believe we have.
That's great. That's really wonderful. But again, recently, of course, when the president visited Anambra State, there was this declaration made by... Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
When the president visited Anambra State, there was a comment that the governor made. So many persons read a lot of meanings to that comment. The comment is, of course, the fact that ABGA supports and realigns its mandates to adopt the president for the 2027 election. Do you think that that comment was more of fear mongering from the governor, giving that he doesn't want to be rigged out, or you think that based on what he has said, that ABGA has always supported the government at the center, like he mentioned, that he's just trying to reinvent the wheel in order to, save face?
Definitely, our governor wants to desire his second term at all costs. Any area the help will come for him to realize his second, to achieve his aim. He will definitely give it attention. He's saying, as a leader of APOGA, can, say the stand of his party. That does not influence the entire Anambra to like Tinubu. You can be hungry and enjoying partnership with the person that makes you hungry. The pressure on people are so much, so there's no way his alliance with Tinubu will help him in Anambra State, except if things change within from now to 2027. If anything doesn't change, if things stand this way, I wonder what what he will achieve in election here, because most people are not happy with what the nature of the economy we have here.
Well, how do you think that ABGA, the party members in ABGA in Anambra, received that comment endorsing Tinubu for 2027?
No, that is a personal opinion. Just believe that politicians don't win an election. What wins election is voters. What wins an election is voters. Politicians can have their way because they are pursuing their personal interests. But the masses win an election. You can imagine the percentage of real politicians is less than 10%. So you are winning all the politicians in Anambra means you won less than 10% of the votes in Anambra State. So whatever stand of the politician can be personal interest, can be whatever thing they are. That does not make the entire Anambra State go the same direction.
So you feel that even his comments doesn't really resonate around the party faithfuls whom he may be counting upon in order to do him well in 2020 in this particular November elections?
He made similar comments when in 2023 when we were doing general election in 2023 and presidential election in 2023. He stood behind Atiku, and his party his members of his own family voted P2B. So his opinion does not change anything. People have their individual opinions and stand. They are very, very. We have matured voters in Anambra State. So people know what they want and they go for it. So no opinion of the governor does not change the opinion of others. If Tinubu stands election in Anambra today, he won't get up to 10% of votes in Anambra. Whether Absoludo marries Tinubu or not, it does not influence anything. I know our people; they are matured voters. So you don't just woo an Igbo man easily like that. He knows what he wants.
All right. Anyways, we would keep engaging these issues because they're actually very important to us. We're already counting down to that elections that is built for November 8th, 2025. And we hope that we could reach out to you at any time in order for you to give us updates on what's going on.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
I will know. By the grace of God, there will be very peaceful free election in 2025.
Indeed.
Anambra people are very peace-loving people. They don't throw in their life for elections and their leadership positions. They only follow their conviction, follow their desire, and that will still happen in 2025. By November, you see it happen. The election will come and go, the winner will emerge.
All right. On the final note, I just wanted to answer in one line. Has Soludo's popularity dwindled since the last time he took over office in 2021 compared to now?
Sorry, please repeat what you said.
Has his popularity, the current governor, has it dwindled?
People are rating him fairly high. People are rating him very, very, very high. The people, good politicians know his lapses, and they are capitalizing on them. So let's see what will happen before November. If he maintains his tempo and move on with it and doesn't fall back, maybe have a bit easier ride. But we don't determine what will happen by November now, because a lot of things can come up.
Indeed. Alex Emeka Ejindo, many thanks for your time. We truly appreciate your insight.
Thank you, my brother.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Crisis in Nigeria is from to get a government that will think of getting a policy that will take us from consumption to production. It will not take us 6 months or 1 year for any government to plant, to build agricultural concerns everywhere and plant, go to farms and get people to farm. And Nigeria, we do not have any reason why we should be begging for food in Nigeria, because more than 75% of Nigerian lands are uncultivated. They are just there wasting. So push tractors, push people. We can't be begging food from a war-torn country like Ukraine. It has gotten to that level. So the moment we begin to go into the farms, begin to produce material, agricultural materials, we'll feed ourselves and people will be happy.
Because of food inflation in Nigeria now, first of all, is what we call in economic terms materials theory. Materials theory is when population is growing. When population is growing at a geometric rate, and why food production is growing at arithmetic rate. That means population is growing like 2, 4, 8, 16. While food is growing 2, 4, 6, 8. The pace of the growth of population is far higher than the people. Our population is rising, while our population is getting lower. So the demand outweighs the supply.
The causes of food inflation or hardship is tied to government policies. For example, you saw last year, 2023, as at May last year, before the coming of the current administration led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the moment he made one declaration as a leader, everything up to date, somersaulted. So it's government policies. It's policies that can bring down inflation, bring down hardship, bring down cost of living, improve life expectancy. It's same policy that can reduce life expectancy, cause hardship and what have you. So it's policy.
The problem is not reducing the import duties fee. The problem is this fuel subsidy issue. He should just remove it and let it go. If today he announced that fuel is back to where it is, I'm telling you, things will come down.
Imagine you go to
Hello and welcome to Top 5 Stories on Signature TV. I'm Charles Pius, your host for today. So it's going to be a top 5 stories across the world. And of course, you have the opportunity to call into the studio to have your say. Share your thoughts on any of the stories so far. So I'll just have you hear some of the stories. The numbers to call is showing on your screen. You could call in. So save it up so you can call in at any time. It's +234 912 520 7370. So don't miss the opportunity to have your voice heard on the program. All right, it's Monday, the beginning of a brand new week, and in fact, the week that would herald the 2nd anniversary of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and of course, the one in ENUGU where we are headquartered. I'm talking about the administration of Peter Mba. So, for you, if you were to rate these two governments, how would you rate them? Would you score them high? Would you score them average? Or would you score them low? Let me know what you think on the comments on YouTube or any other platform that you can find us. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, other social media platforms. In the headlines, ENUGU Labour Party rep Umeha defects to APC, says ruling party protects Igbo interests better. Former US President Biden diagnosed with aggressive prostate. Details shortly. To stay with us.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
The representative of ENUGU Federal Constituency of ENUGU State in the House of Representatives, Sunday Umeha, has defected from the Labour Party to the All Progressives Congress, APC. He cited internal crises within the Labour Party as both state and national levels as part of his reasons for leaving. He also expressed confidence that the APC better protects the interest of Igbo compared to his former party. With this defection, Umeha becomes the first and only APC member to occupy an elective position in ENUGU State since the party's inception in 2014. He added that joining the ruling party would help connect his people to the center for greater benefits. Umeha highlighted projects like the ENUGU-Onitsha Expressway, ENUGU-Port Harcourt Expressway, and the second Niger Bridge as evidence of APC's commitment to Igbo interests. At the same event, the Labour Party chieftain in Igboeze South, Joshua Obunna, popularly known as Father, led over 1,000 LP members, including the party's local government structures, to join APC. The leader of APC in Enugu State and Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uchenna, represented by his former running mate, Barrister George Ogara, welcomed the new members, praising the influx of credible personalities into the party. Enugu State APC Chairman Ugochukwu Awala expressed optimism about the party's chances of taking over the state's leadership from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2027. He criticized PDP's 26-year dominance, accusing it of bringing hardship through heavy taxation, land grabbing, and demolitions. Interesting development, really. I mean, the stunning news. It's stunning in its own merit, because the fact that for the very first time, APC is trying to make inroads into the Southeast through this Labour Party member speaks volume about what they are intended to do. You know, there are also rumors about the movement of the government of Enugu State into APC. So many persons have said that will not happen because it's more like a suicide, a committee suicide. You can carry all those goodwill and move into the APC, given what has happened over time, you know, with the APC. The APC so far has been blamed for so many things. Been blamed for trying to make it a one-party state, and the party chairman, the national level, Ganduje, says, after all, China runs a one-party state, so why can't we do that? So one wonders really whether we're practicing democracy if we all get into one party. But even at that, to tell you how very saddening the people of the Southeast are, or especially Enugu, about the APC. The APC hasn't made any inroad, and for the first time that someone is occupying an elective position in that capacity in the APC, it means that the person did not win an election under the platform of the APC, but under the platform of another party and moving into the APC. So how far has the APC done anything significant enough to create a measure of, you know, inclusiveness that would involve the people of the Southeast? You know, one wonders really whether, you know, this would in any way hamper or deter or improve or may has chances at the next elections. It's still left to be seen, all right? Still really, really left to be seen. All right, fingers crossed. A pastor in one of the White Garment churches has reportedly been arrested in connection with the deaths of 4 siblings in Iweza South local government area of Enugu State. Although the council chairman, Mr. Ferdinand Ukweze, confirmed the arrest during a visit to the deceased family, the suspect was said to be a member of the Sabbath church located in the area. The children, named Kamsiochukwu Ezema 7, Izinne Ezema 6, Ujunwa Ezema 5, and Chinedu Ezema 2, were allegedly gruesomely murdered with a pestle by the pastor alongside other accomplices who are currently at large. However, speaking during a visit to the family of the deceased children shortly after visiting the scene of the crime, the local government chairman Ukweze condemned the act, vowing that justice must be served. Ukweze consequently ordered that the premises where the incident took place be sealed with immediate effect. Meanwhile, Enugu State Police Command has remained silent over the incident, as efforts to speak with the command spokesperson, SP Daniel Ndukwe, were unsuccessful, as he could neither take his calls nor respond to text messages seeking his comments as of the time of this particular report. In fact, the first time I saw that particular report, I saw it just about 2 days ago. When I saw the news, in my head, I was just saying that this is a ritual, frankly speaking. I read nothing else to paint it to or to link it to. How do you use pestle to smash the heads of 4 siblings, in fact, from one family, if it's not ritual? Frankly speaking, I really don't know. And the parents of these children were not even around when this was happening. And this place that this took place, the people say in that area that it has been in existence, and that is in fact a place where people go to seek for help. More like a church kind of place. It's not necessarily a church per se, but it's a place where people who are who got psychiatric problem go to, people who need some herbs for their problems go to, some people who also need some drugs go to. So you would tell that it is a place where, even though not registered, it's a place where the community welcomed to be. Because I saw a picture of of the home, of the place where this was taking place, already sealed by local government authority. So I feel that there must be more investigation to be done about this, because it is not normal for these kinds of things to exist within our fold. It's gruesome, and I hope that whoever that are involved in these issues should be taken care of by the authorities. It's just crazy. It's unheard of, things like this. One would wonder what kind of ritual would somebody be doing in that stead. I can imagine the amount of blood flowing through those 4 kids, and the amount of organs that may have been harvested, with these kids, and what they are going to be using them for. I don't know. Do people still believe in ritual these days? I thought that hard work pays. I mean, if you work hard, you would play hard. If you work hard over a period of time, there's no way that there won't be any form of improvement. But then people these days tend to want to not work hard, just live in wealth, live in money, and just do whatever it is they want to do. It's crazy. Anyways, a 40-year-old man has set his house on fire in Asha Umudim community of Osisioma local government area of Abia State, resulting in the death of one of his daughters. The suspects were said to have doused his house with inflammable substance before igniting the compound, on the allegation that his wife was engaging in extramarital affairs. The suspect was also said to have accused the wife of regularly picking phone calls of people he suspected to be her boyfriends. While one of the daughters of the man died inside the raised house, doctors are battling to save the life of the wife and the other children. A community source told correspondent that angry villagers were about lynching the suspect before the arrival of the police, who arrested the man. The body of the daughter of the suspect who died in the attack has been deposited in a mortuary. The Police Public Relations Officer, PPPR, of Abia State Police Command, DSP Maureen Chinaka, confirmed the incident and also said that investigations is ongoing. Sad, another very sad story. I can only imagine how this man feels. It really feels bad to be cheated upon. But again, when you are cheated upon as a man, I mean, they say it's a man's world, right? So why go about beating a woman or even trying to kill a woman if she cheats on you? If you're sure that he's cheating or she's cheating on you as a man, I mean, not as a woman now, because the story is that the woman is angry that the man cheats. I mean, that's the normal story that we hear. But now, we see the other way around. You know what they say in the African parlance? They never really catch a woman cheating, even though in some quarters people say and claim that women are the ones that cheat the most. Anyways, even though those research are not something born out of research, but again, I'm just saying in true essence, as a man, if you are cheated upon by your wife or by your girlfriend, whoever it is, I don't think the best thing to do is to start beating them up or trying to burn your house or even ruin your own life. Walk away. Okay, so you are the man of the house. You own the house. Tell her to go away. Whenever she's settled down with, her life, and whenever she's settled down and she wants to be with you, then, she could come back. But, I mean, I would always preach separation when it comes to marital issues. I mean, we're talking about marriage, right? You can separate, and then if during the separation you guys' relationship doesn't stand tall or doesn't reinvigorate or re-engineer itself with a therapist at least, then you guys can go your separate ways, or you guys can go ahead and divorce. There's frankly nothing that is bad with divorce, especially when even the Bible have said that the only reason that you could actually go around divorcing your spouse is when there is an involvement of infidelity. And so if you are sure you could cut your spouse I'm saying this not because it's one way, man to woman, but even if it's a woman to man. Because we've also seen stories of women who had, poured their spouses, their husbands, hot water while they are sleeping, or tried to cut their manhood, or tried to harm their husbands just because, they did something wrong, or maybe they are suspecting that the man cheated on them, or the man had actually cheated on them. Why ruin a man's life, or why ruin your life further? Because again, you're going to pay for that. No man is going to keep you within his house if you do that, if you become violent. So when that happens, why don't you just be apart from each other? Stay apart. Yeah, some people will say, Charles, you are saying stay apart like it's easy. I mean, what if I don't have a place to go to? Well, if you don't have a place to go to, you have a choice. Then stop what you're doing if you want to stay back, right? So conform with the rules of what you're doing. Instead of, saying that you don't have a place to go to, you don't have a place to run to, you don't have a place to go to or stay for the meantime, then try as much as you can to adjust to where you are, or maybe find a friend to go to. I mean, there's no way you wouldn't have a friend around that you can put up with, when things like this happen. I mean, we've seen this story happen and play out, even most recently with the Osinachi story, where, it was alleged that she died as a result of domestic violence. And now we've seen how, she lost her life in that manner. If she was in some way not within the house premises, she wouldn't have been receiving beating. If she was away from the home, she wouldn't have been beaten the way she was beaten. I mean, some people will tell you, stay back, it's your home, it's your family, don't go anywhere, fight it all out. My dear, I'm not in that, bracket of fighting it all out. Marriage is supposed to help you, build you, create some form of, an environment that is conducive for both parties. And if for some reasons that relationship is no longer something that brings you joy, happiness, or brings you balance, the best thing to do is to move away, is to let go. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Don't die in marriage. It's not an environment where you would want to sacrifice your life. I mean, it's just like, saying somebody should keep eating sugar, knowing that sugar is going to kill you. They keep telling you keep eating sugar, and then you know that this path that you have taken, yes, maybe at first it might not be the right path, or maybe you might seem that it might be the right path, and then you find out that the person so far isn't that person that you thought that they were. Say, for instance, they started beating you, or maybe started doing some diabolical things. You have the right to leave. You have a choice. I really don't want to believe that people don't have a choice in an environment or in a place where they voluntarily entered. You voluntarily entered a relationship, a marriage, and then you're telling me you cannot voluntarily leave because, oh, you have kids. Trust me, those kids would leave even without you. So the very first thing you have to think of first is yourself, how you can, live your life to the best of your abilities and to the best of your person, and so you don't lose your essence. That's very important. I know that families are facing a very dire time this period because of the economic downturn that we're facing in this country. A little thing can make someone flare up, whether it's from the woman or from the man. The pressure on the family is too much. And so sometimes, most women would express themselves using their mouth. And some other time, the men would want to express themselves using their hands. So we see chaos every now and then. I mean, nobody really talks about the chaotic situation that comes with the economic downturn. Beyond the economic downturn that we see with monies being spent for little goods, we know that these things have direct impact on families and their relationships. It's madness out there, and I just hope that everybody takes it easy. If you are the man making the monies, take it easy. If you are the woman making the money, take it easy. Just take it cool. And if it is something that has to do with direct beating or threat to your life, the best path is to leave, at least to save your life. Anyways, on the foreign scene, former U.S. President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has metastasized to the bone, and he and his family are reviewing treatment options, with doctors' his office said in a statement on Sunday. Biden was diagnosed on Friday after having experienced urinary symptoms, the statement said. While this represents a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management.
You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
Biden's term as president ended on January 20 when Donald Trump was sworn in. Oh, well, you could say that these are diseases of the old people. You know, when I see Biden, I mean, a whole lot of things just cross through my mind. This guy is a very young guy, you know, passing through, you know, the American legislature, and then the service to humanity that you could see that he has done throughout his lifetime. And now old age is catching up with him, you know. It just again reminds us of the fact that while we're young, we should take all opportunities that we have to grow our not just ourselves but our community, do what we can within our powers and our strengths to make sure that our society is a lot better for it. We don't have too much time, you know, on planet Earth. We really don't have too much time, and before you know it, old age will be calling. And when it calls, at least the younger ones will remember that you spent most of your life trying to better the society. Very important. Anyways, in sports, Manchester United head coach Ruben Amorim has confirmed that no new injuries were sustained during Friday's 9th Premier League clash against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Amorim fielded a stronger lineup than expected, including several players likely to start in next week's Europa League final against Tottenham Hotspur. By the way, this particular game we're talking about is we're looking at a game that is very important. The Europa League final is important to these two sides because they do not have the opportunity to be in the top 4 qualifying for the Champions League next season. And so any of them could qualify from the back door to the Champions League. So so they'll do everything possible to make sure that, you know, they outwit each other. So we're looking at that game to be on the 21st. I suppose that will be just a day after tomorrow. Despite the competitive selection, United fell to a 1-0 defeat with Marc Cucurella's header sealing victory for Chelsea. There was encouraging news after the match, as Amorim reported a clean bill of health from the encounter. Additionally, Aiden Heaven returned to action from an ankle injury, making a substitute appearance in the second half. However, Lisandro Martinez and Joshua Zirkzee remain confirmed absentees for the Europa League final. The availability of Machis Delight, Lenai Roro, and Diogo Dalot remains uncertain, with final assessments expected early next week. Delight continues to recover from a knee problem, while Yoro limped off during last weekend's match against West Ham, raising concerns. Dalot, sidelined recently with a calf issue, is reportedly making significant efforts to return in time for the final. Despite the uncertainty around some key players, Amorim expressed strong optimism ahead of Wednesday's showdown, saying he is really confident that United can win the final, claim a major trophy, and secure a place in the 2025-2026 Champions League. Manchester United currently sits 16th, damn, in the Premier League. Unprecedented. Just 1 point out of 17th place Tottenham. That's how badly both needed. Who head into the Europa League final following a 2-0 loss to Aston Villa. Now, this is how important these two games are. These two teams are actually at number 16 and 17 on the Premier League. And they found themselves somehow sparingly into the finals of Europa League. And here we are. It's an opportunity to win a major trophy. And not just that, qualify from the back door into the Champions League next season. So what an opportunity, to find yourself in the 16th place of your league and then find yourself in the Champions League next season. I mean, it's something everybody's going to buy into. They're going to do everything possible. That is the reason why it's going to be an interesting matchup. I can't wait to get to watch that game. I can imagine the spectacle that it will come with. 16 versus 17 to the Premier League, and then with a whole lot ahead of them. I'm all fingers crossed regarding that. It's just a few days away, so I'm looking forward to that interesting matchup. All right, we'll go on a short break. When we return, let's have your share of your thoughts, or let's have you share your thoughts on any of these top stories. Numbers right now, +234 912 520 7370. That's the numbers you can call. All right, you can call that number, and you can also drop a message for us on our platforms. Stay with us after this. Be back.
We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket. We are local.
We are right now with the wife of the man that was
Why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye. Aye.
We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Welcome back. This is Top 5 here on Signature TV. So it's 5:28 p.m. We have just 20 minutes to have your say on the show. You can call into the studio. The number showing on your screen right now is +234 912 520 7370. All right, you can call that number to react to any of the stories so far. And by the way, just to also remind you of the fact that the first story we told you about, Sunday Omeha defecting from the Labour Party to the APC is fully confirmed. That happened on Saturday over the weekend, and he will be the very first person of the APC that is representing the APC at the federal level in ENUGU State. Very first person. We're hearing that there might be few more persons joining the APC fold from either the House of Reps or the Senate. It's not particularly very clear, but we're hearing that that might actually happen. But then a whole lot of persons are saying these defections does not in any way reflect the people's thinking, the people's thoughts, because again, you would always defect to a political party that is doing well at the center. Many persons do not think that the APC has done well in these 2 years that they've been in power at the federal level, at least. I mean, not just 2 years, we're talking 8 years of Buhari's administration, and then 2 years of Tinubu's administration. We're talking 10 years down the line. It does not look like the administration of the APC has done anything well, particularly for the people, to warrant the elites or the political elites to join the APC as a fold. But it's looking really interesting over time that even when the party at the center is not doing well, we'll see people at the fringes and at the state level joining the party, and then you wonder whether you know, they are in tandem or they're in good faith with their people, you know, down at the local level, because they say, of course, every single political party or every single politics is actually in their own stead local. So if every politics is local, you would understand that you must have to consult with your constituents for you to be able to make that kind of move. So then you wonder whether this is actually you know, something that is sanctioned by the people that these people are actually representing. Let's take this call. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and location?
David from Independence Layout.
David, all the way from ENUGU, Independence Layout. Thank you for joining us, David.
Okay. I want to drop my comment on, firstly, the change, the party transfer going on.
Oh.
From what it means, I guess they use it as transparency. They give it out as, they drop it as transparency. And once I see that tag, I find it funny, because this country continues to impress them, to amuse me. Sorry. Now we are talking about the 2027 election. People defecting from APC, from PDP, from Labour Party to APC, from PDP to APC, and I'm asking this question: what has the APC? What does the APC bring to the table here? Like, what's the development? Anytime they talk about the good governance of the APC, the kind of laughter is my mouth. So judging from the past government, the party administration, right to the Tinubu administration, I don't see any reason that the APC should even have anybody defecting to the party, because there's no better development. We are just going backward. We are not even thinking of. We talk about this, the hike in price, the cost of living now and school. When we are still discussing, you will hear of a politician sitting as a platform to campaign for his election. He lost primary debate. They denied him ticket for primaries. And he now feels like he can just join APC and maybe they will do the corner that they will do and he will start for 8 years. I don't know where this country, how celebrities want us to make something to be, but I feel like these people are not helping matters at all.
Well, but let me ask you this: Do you think that if, for instance, those who are representing their constituents, they meet up with their constituent and tell them this is what they want to do, and gives them the benefit of doubt, and they say they should go ahead? Do you think would you have a problem with that?
I can't hear you well, sir.
I said, for instance, those who are defecting, if they had taken excuse from their constituents and their constituents said they should go ahead, I mean, would you have an issue with them? All right, maybe you'd have to maybe call us back if you can. All right, thank you so much anyway for your input on the show this evening. That he feels saddened by what is going on. Some political parties are actually very angry about what's going on. Some others are saying that it's not like APC is doing something fantastic for anybody to applaud them or to have that, attractiveness that will bring in people into their fold. So what exactly are people moving to the APC for? What exactly is that thing? Is that thing that they are doing that is so wonderful, that is bringing people into? And again, it also tells us the story about the fact that maybe, just maybe, the elites, the political elites, those who are House of Rep members, senators, or even governors, don't interact with their people, because it is only when you interact with your people that are able to hear them out, and say, okay, this is the reason why I am going for this particular political party using this mandate that you voted me on. And remember, most of these people did not come under the guise of who they were or exerting their strength and their powers. Because, of course, in 2023, remember, we had the phenomenon called Peter Obi and the Labour Party. And because of him, most of the PDP members, ABGA members, lost their seat. It was a fantastic wave that had, people losing their seats, people who had stayed there for 15, 12 years, for 16 years, losing their seat. Even the incumbent governor that put up for a senator position in ENUGU North, Ugwai, lost that seat to Labour Party. So most of these Labour Party guys did not come in because, they practically are coming in with their monies or maybe with their influence or their strengths or with their popularity. It's just the wave that came with Peter Obi that they were able to gather some of these issues. But let's take this call. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and location?
I'm Arinza from Night Night.
Arinza, thank you for calling.
Please, I saw what you just read a few minutes ago concerning the House of Rep member, Labour Party House of Rep that are defected to APC.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm surprised about the thing because I'm seeing something behind it. Maybe he has an EFCC program, that's why he decided to defect. Because I guess the only House of Rep member APC is ENUGU.
Yes, he is the only House of Rep member of the APC extraction in ENUGU, yes.
Maybe he's just looking for maybe a cover up. Something maybe have a problem with them. I just looking for a means to cover up what he did from my own understanding and make him defect. Because nobody believed what my contact from that place, I'm from Nigeria precisely.
Okay.
He's not representing us. People have been complaining what made him to portray such character. But I'm still confused, honestly. Thank you for the information, sir. I was driving when I got into it. I just stopped by. I called a friend of mine. Said, look at what I heard from Signature TV. What is going on? He said that that is true. Honestly, there's something behind it, sir.
Absolutely.
That's my own opinion. Thank you very much, sir.
All right then. Thank you so much. Sunday Omeha, yes, it's official, has joined the APC. He is the APC representative, the only APC representatives. In fact, the only APC representative since 2015. That is how, it's more than 10 years, right? 2015, right? Just around 10 years since we had that first election that brought APC to power. APC hadn't had any representative in ENUGU state. So for the very first time, we are seeing an APC member in the House of Reps from ENUGU extraction. And it's looking quite interesting, isn't it? It's looking really quite interesting. Only one knows what's going to happen next. Hello?
Sorry, wasn't able to hear what you were saying the last time I called. So I have to call back.
Okay, I was actually going to ask if you thought that if the House of Rep member had contacted his constituents and they asked him to go, they permitted him to go, would you have a problem with it?